Hey guys, Fight Kitties here. I'm Lady J, and it is time for some kick-ass and coffee. All right, you guys, as you know, we're going to jump into the latest news in the Wrestleverse. And if you have any stories to add or some extra commentary, I will make sure I get to it at the end. Thank you again for all your super chats. We totally appreciate the love and support. Now, let's get started with some Fight Buzz. I don't know if you guys are wondering, but I was starting to wonder. I'm like, dude, where's Miro? Where is he? And good news is he signed his AEW contract extension, and he confirmed this story on the Kurt Angle podcast. So he's not going anywhere. We're excited to see him back in the ring, cracking jokes about his beautiful wife who slays him. And another Fight Buzz. My girl, Chris Cyborg, is going to be back in action. Bellator 279, April 23rd, is set to feature two big title fights in its headlining bouts. We're going to see reigning Bellator Women's Featherweight Champion Chris Cyborg and Arlene Blencowe are expected to clash. And that's a rematch from their first fight in Bellator back at Bellator 249. On the other match, we're going to see Bellator Bantamweight champion Sergio Perez take on Rafael Stotz to kick off the Bellator Bantamweight World Grand Prix. So if you like yourself some MMA action, it is here. Good morning, Manuel. Yes. Drinking our coffee, eating breakfast, and talking about some Fight Buzz. The best way to start your morning off. Next up in our Fight Buzz, Jeff Hardy made his AEW Dynamite debut. We knew he was coming. We were just waiting for him to join up with his brother. Now, Matt Hardy was voted out of the AHFO faction. How does that happen? He was attacked by the entire faction, including Private Party. So Jeff Hardy's, little brother got to come in and save his big brother. And so his song bust out, and it's his old Loaded theme song. And he came out to take out the heels with his Swanton Bomb. Now, as noted earlier, Hardy's non-compete expired last night. So what a way to finish your non-compete by coming in with a bam. And for what it's worth, Tony Schiavone was saying that Darby and Sting seemed very surprised to see Jeff last night. All right. And other surprises were Chris Jericho turning heel on Santana and Ortiz and forms a new stable. But did he really turn heel? Really? Did he really turn heel? Let's see. What am you guys got any comments about this nonsense? Let's see here. Now, Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston were shaking hands. 2.0 and Daniel Garcia ran out to the ring to seemingly attack Jericho and Kingston, but it was all a setup. 2.0 Garcia revealed themselves to be part of a plan alongside of Jericho and Jake Hager. So we got Jake Hager, 2.0, Garcia, Hager cleaning out Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. They finished off Eddie Kingston by putting him through a table ringside. So this new stable is called, Joseph. He was already going heel. Going or was heel? Let's talk about this. So this is the Jericho Appreciation Society. Now, Tommy Mac's been calling this since the beginning of all of us screaming the song lyrics to the top of our lungs when Judas comes out. Let me do a read through of Judas with you. Should I read it or should I sing it? You are beautiful on the inside. Yeah. You are innocence personified, and I will drag you down and sell you out. Run away. Is he warning us of something? Maybe. It's a lot of fun to sing along to. He's saying, I'm cold like December snow. I've carved out this soul made of stone. I'm going to drag you out, sell you out. Embraced by the darkness, I'm losing the light. Encircled by demons, I will fight. What have I become? Now that I've betrayed, he's been telling us he's healed for a very long time, everybody. He's betrayed everyone I've ever loved. I've pushed them all away. And I have been a slave to the Judas in my mind. Is he becoming? No, he has become the betrayer all along. He's always been heel. We've just enjoyed the ride. All right, Joseph, you prefer Garcia with Regal, honestly, but this is just as good. We're definitely shaking up the factions. I like a little change. All right, another. Oh, Benit, good morning. Make sure you're drinking your coffee. We do tea well. No one watching. Oh, so sad. All right. Scorpio Sky won the TNT championship during Dynamite last night too. I feel like he's just been hanging out with all of his bad MMA guys just to make him look better. But yes, Billy, Judas is the perfect name. If I need to give a little more context. So in the Holy Bible, Judas was the betrayer of Jesus. So yeah, the ultimate betrayer. All right, back to Scorpio Sky. So he won the AEW TNT championship last night when he pinned Sammy Guevara. And so a few minutes before the end of the match, Guevara crashed through the table ringside, and his girlfriend, who we all know is his girlfriend, I think they got tattoos of each other's names already. It's legit. Ty Conte ran out to ringside to check on Guevara, and they teased that Sammy would not be able to continue the match. Oh no. Sammy opted to continue the match, but his ribs were badly hurt, and Sky took advantage by taking his knees up when Guevara did the 450 off the top rope. And then Paige Van Zandt finally brought her cute butt out there to attack Ty Conte, while Sky hit the TKO to win the title. Joseph, Van Zandt will be better than Rousey. She and Ty will likely drag this out to Double or Nothing. Ooh. I hope that we're not contributing to the trolling of the Rousey, but she's allowed to have some legit competition. I like a little competition. Joseph, AT&T takeover is complete. We're still going on AEW, people. We're still going. They had a very busy night. FTR fired Tully Blanchard. If only his daughter would come out and kick some ass. She's a little bit of a troublemaker, to say the least. And they are teasing a WWE Hall of Famer as his replacement. Bret Hart to AEW. You never know. They're big fans of the Hitman. So this is all going on backstage. Dax Harwood was talked about his pro wrestling being his first love, and said he's fighting for his family, and totally seemed to take issue with the line about his family. That's up, maybe. So at the end of after Dynamite, Dax tweeted, "Hey Brett, what you up to?" So, I like this. I like this little tease. I like this tease. They like to reference Brett in the timeline, and but recently they've been kind of hinting at him a little bit more. You never know. Now, this may or not be related, but during the AEW Revolution post-show media scrum, I call it a scrum, CM Punk referenced Bret Hart too and said that he should be the one cashing in big paychecks instead of the guy who cut his career short, WCW Goldberg. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Are we going to see the Hitman? It'd be nice to see him as a manager, right? Right? All right. Now, everyone was talking. Yeah, Manuel's like, I'm a big fan of AEW. Come on. Live TNT a couple of years ago. All right, Dave Meltzer, of course, had to add a little interesting dialogue to Twitter last night and lit up freaking wrestling Twitter. Dave said, imagine I start a new cola, and in 2 years, I outsell Coke in New York and Chicago, but trail in other places, and often outsells nationally with men, but not necessarily women, unless you're Lady J and Lexi. And so we're like, why are we talking about Coke? Would you say that my cola is only interested in appeasing internet fans, which is a niche audience? And so Brian Cosgrove responded, if AEW isn't hitting WWE viewership numbers coming off the Punk and Brian signings, when does it happen? What kind of signing or storyline moves the needle? Roman Reigns reference, right? So WWE Creative writes to appease Vince. Tony Khan writes to appease internet fans, which is a niche audience. But is it fair? Is it fair? AEW is a two-year-old brand and is already valued over $300 million. My goodness, why did I not invest in this? The WWE is an entrenched brand, much like Coca-Cola, and will not realistically be like, Pepsi and overtake Coke for at least 10 more years. It took Pepsi 40 years to swing the tide. However, WWE has been giving it market share steadily. I feel like such a professor right now. WWE has been giving it market share steadily for 30 years. If the trend continues, they will put themselves in viewership numbers like where they started before Vince even bought the company from his father. Yeah. See, it is going down. All right, off that tirade. It totally blew up on Twitter. People were talking about it left and right. Let's move on to some more wrestling news. Joseph, I expect Brett to return for the Owen Cup, so maybe the FTR rumor is likely. Maybe. I like where you're going with this. All right. One of y'all was like beefing on us about MLW. So let's talk about LA Park versus Jacob Fatu. Bam. Glad he's back from his injury. Jacob Fatu was out injured for a little while. They are set for the MLW Azteca Underground event in Dallas, Texas, April 1st. Everyone's going to be out there. So it's the Azteca Apocalypto match. More matches are expected to be announced soon. Now, this Azteca Underground is an interactive experience. We're going to feature a lucha lunch. Heck yes. Dang it. So first and second row ticket holders will enjoy early access for a pre-show VIP lucha lunch taco bar. What is my love language? Yeah, give me them tacos. Where's the guac to? This is not available to any other ticket holder. And then you get to tour Caesar's office. You get to journey into the shadowy destination where Cesar Duran makes matches, schemes, and holds court. Here, you'll have a chance to take a photo sitting at El Jefe's desk and reign supreme as Azteca henchmen stand guard over you and your Azteca empire. That's kind of fun. Joseph Fatu is very good. Fatu is very scary. He was the former MLW champion. Yeah. Hammerstein took it over because Fatu got injured. Yeah, and LA Park is a lucha legend. I'm not a big fan of the Park Familia, but you know what? I got to give them respect. They've been doing it forever. All right, moving on to our... Manuel. I hear WWE put Undertaker in his Hall of Fame on WrestleMania 38. I think it's definitely going to help the numbers. I remember I started watching WWF in New Jersey's 1974. I don't even know what year it was when Tommy Mack was at like the WrestleMania. Was it the first one? It was the first one.
It was not. It was way beyond 74.
Yeah, and like, yeah, a little bit later. But like Andre the Giant was like, would you put my giant hand on you? It wasn't that one? Yeah. He still touched you. Yeah. Oh my God, he touched you.
House show on Maple Leaf Garden.
All right, back to our indie wrestling. For my Impact Wrestling fans, Eddie Edwards. He's sticking around. He is staying. He did an interview with Sports Illustrated. The former Impact World Heavyweight Champion confirmed he signed a new deal, although the terms have not been disclosed. It might be a whole lot of nunya. He's been there for about 8 years now. And yeah. All right, don't forget Vader. Yes, we talked about Vader yesterday. We had some fun pictures, fun stories. We also talked about Sid. Yep, Hall of Fame is going to be fun. I'm maybe slightly more interested in the ROH Hall of Fame. Okay, back to Eddie Edwards. So he's been a part of Honor No More group with Matt Taven, Maria Kanellis, Mike Bennett, Kenny King, Vincent, and PCO. PCO is so freaking scary. He's slated to wrestle Rich Swann on Thursday's episode of Impact Wrestling on Access TV. Now, while he was at Impact, he is a former two-time world champion, two-time X Division champ, and a 5-time world tag team champion with Davey Richards. Davey Richards was over at the Big Bola. Yeah, these are some good guys. All right, I got to go off. It's time for the morning jam. All right, I might be a little partial. Hey, Eddie, beat it. Beat it, Eddie. I'm talking about the Titan here. I got my shirt that proves I was there, that I heard of them first. Braun Strowman? Yeah, dude, he like doesn't even fit in the picture. He's like the biggest man I've ever met. Adam Scherr is saying that another wrestling company is trying to shut down their upcoming Control Your Narrative show in Dallas. There has been so much drama and like chismo going on, scandals. Oof. Okay, so Adam Scherr is saying that their show scheduled on March 31st, that people are talking trash. There's been lots of scandals. Like, I didn't see Buddy Matthews show up. Like, there are some people who got pulled because of like, ooh, people are talking crap and stories that may or may not be true. I mean, the whole premise of Control Your Narrative is like everyone who's ever been canceled or released due to budget cuts or maybe a little too rough around the edges has found a place. And so when we were in Orlando at the show, it totally had that like Fight Club vibe. And there were several hundred of us. And then like Kona Kai was in the back of the bar with us. Like, oh, I remember you. And so it was like a whole bunch of wrestlers like, it's Ryzen, our local, indie hero. It was awesome. It's fun. There were kids there. I like it. I like the little grittiness of it. Were any of you guys there? I don't know. But continuing on with the Fight Club vibe, freaking Adam Scherr is like, CYN is not going to have dorks doing choreographed dancing with each other, which is kind of have to explain it to some people. They're like, what is pro wrestling? Is it fake? And I'm like, no, it's kind of like, the dance moves. And sometimes you have a new dance partner. But yeah, Adam's like, no dancing, no high flying. Lord knows the freaking ceiling wasn't high enough at this show in Orlando because the disco ball got whacked. The projector was totally in way of any flying legs, especially Adam Scherr's giant body. So he's like, yeah, we are different from the rest. And so in a post on Instagram, Scherr said they have more things up their sleeves. And the fans who didn't attend their show in Orlando can't attend the show in Dallas during WrestleMania weekend. And Shirt seemingly took a shot at the style scene in other promotions when he said that CYN is the only place to be unless you want to see a bunch of dorks choreograph dance with each other for no reason at all. He said, fans will not see that garbage at CYN because this is the promotion where wrestlers actually fight. Fight Club. Fight
Jeremy
Club.
Borash was there from NXT.
Jeremy Borash from NXT was there in Orlando.
Yeah,
Yes.
He was at the bar watching the whole thing.
It's a good place to be at the bar watching wrestlers supporting wrestlers. I love it. Okay.
Jeremy Borash is the producer for NXT. So
Jeremy Borash is the
like
producer of NXT.
he's like The Office.
Dang. All right. We have some more details on Tony Khan's purchase of Ring of Honor and the plans for this. Oh, Billy. Yeah, Billy, you were there. You were totally in the middle of it. EC3 handed you a beer. Yeah, it is like Fight Club, except for we talk about it. Let's go to some more comments. Because yes, the Hardy Boys are back. Yep, that was a long time ago, but people still remember and love them. Joseph. Yep, Eddie is very loyal to Impact, so not too surprised. I like it. Any more? Keith, I remember back in 2016 when Davey Richards did the same thing to Eddie, which broke up the Wolves. Yeah, I remember the Wolves. We went to a few TNA shows in Orlando. And Scorpio Sky. Yes. Although I miss hearing the SCU chants. I got to hear them on New Japan. Christopher Daniels was down in SoCal doing a New Japan show, and the people totally chanted, SCU, SCU. I know. Maybe they'll make a comeback. All right, back to ROH. Okay, so as we all know, Tony Khan purchased ROH, and the plans for the Super Card of Honor are apparently in complete disarray. Tony Khan's the new president. He purchased it. He got their library, brand assets, intellectual property. He's got everything. But SE Scoops has shared a lot of backstage details regarding the deal. And they're expected to close around the first week of April, which is not good because that's like the middle of freaking WrestleMania. And so the overall feeling is that the deal went down in reverse, completely backward, because it came together quickly. And now the details need to be worked out. But like, we only have a couple weeks till we go live. There's like hundreds of people to get moving around. ROH employees were told the company doesn't get the impression that the new regime is interested in hiring them after the sale goes through, and employees are encouraged to look for other work. Oh, shoot. Severance packages are being considered, but nothing has been decided. And then like the Honor Club streaming service is in limbo, and ROH has a call scheduled with AEW to review the technical setup behind Honor Club and determine if that asset is going to be included in the deal. Whew. And then SE Scoops goes on publishing another report regarding how plans are going to be for the Super Card of Honor pay-per-view, which is said to also be in a complete state of disarray because of the sale. So ROH is said to be behind on the show's preparations. They're going to be at the Curtis Cole Center in Garland, Texas. I've been there. I did New Japan over there. It was awesome. But like, they haven't finalized the card, booking, travel arrangements, other logistics, catering. But so one top ROH employee told staff earlier this week that the show is still happening despite the sale. Sounds like a friggin' hot mess. And so it was also said that Khan wants to produce the pay-per-view and use their own production resources, and that they feel comfortable as if because they've run in the building before, and AEW wants to handle the booking. But I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's like no time. They want it done their way. And AEW has requested, and not even confirmed, a list of talent booked for the show, which includes Joe Hendry, Bandito, Jonathan Gresham, the Briscoes, but the Briscoes aren't even locked in yet. the ROH Tag Team Champions will be working the main event at Impact Wrestling Multiverse of Matches the same evening. Ooh. And now ROH has a new logo to come up with, total rebranding. Oh my goodness. Like they don't even have like the new turnbuckles pad set up yet. So AEW is like, okay, we're going to use the current ROH logo at the pay-per-view and represent the end of this era before rebranding. And so ROH is TV produced through April 16th, and they're scheduled to air through that date, even if Khan's date like closes before then. And of course, Dave Meltzer's like, oh, Manuel, why did Tony buy ROH? Well, I mean, it was him or Vince McMahon. So I don't know, the lesser of the two evil, super rich guys. Joseph, they'll find a way, even with the chaos. Dude, I am sure that's why some of these guys look really old. They are like under extreme stress. All right, so Dave Meltzer, took it to it. Oh, the same. And then we had the fan tweet.
I think that's the stuff from Roman.
Oh, is it from Ron? Oh my goodness. So yeah, ROH. I'm hoping they pull through because we were all excited. Be like, yay, the Super Card of Honor. Oh, sounds like a hot mess. Ooh, the Briscoes. Yay, over at Impact the same night. Oh man, guys. All right, let's move on to some fluffy news. Keith, you and I are on the same wavelength. Let's check out this super adorable video of the galaxy's greatest alien booping down. I'm like, when did I miss Chris Statlander booping Danhausen? Are we going to get this? There we go. Do you see that face? Can we replay that again? It's so fast. I'm like, that's okay. There's Danhausen. He's like, I curse you, Chris Statlander. And she's like, no, I'm going to boop you before you can curse me. And he's like, oh, she booped me. She counteracted my curse. Curses. I know I love Chris. All right, Joseph. Loving the Chris. Yeah. Go crazy. She cursed me. All right, more fluffy news. Booker T on his tag team run with Goldust, which reminds me, I didn't put it up here, but we talk about Goldust, and there's like that new picture of Britt Baker with like her new jacket and her, wait, pause it here, and her new jacket and her new belt, and she's totally going for like that black and gold, and I'm like, I'm feeling Goldust in your photo right now, girl. Okay, so back on the Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T was talking about the time being in a tag team with Goldust. He was like, Goldust, they had the most memorable run out of all of his WWE tag team partners. He's like, when they worked together, it was like a night off. He said there was a story of them in the locker room, and Goldust, who he refers to as Goldie, looked at him and said, hey, Book, can you believe they pay us to do this? And they both started laughing. Then Booker said, yes. Booker and Goldust were hilarious. And so Booker continued saying, when Goldie and him broke up, like their tag team broke up, he's like, you could look in the audience and people were like crying real tears, like, oh, Booker T and Goldust. Why? All right. We'll have to look back at some of those videos and then relive the glory days of Goldust and Booker T. All right, Joseph, let me see what Joseph has to say about Booker and Goldust. Yeah. I like that they get to relive these memories. All right. On to The Rock. The Rocks. Black Adam and DC League of Super Pets movies gets new release. Super Pets. Sick. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson announced today on Instagram that 2 of his upcoming DC projects will be coming out a little bit later than expected. The DC League of Superpets will now be released July 29th, and Black Adam is scheduled for October 21st. I don't even want to know what his calendar looks like. He's so busy. All right. Any last comments before I move on to some strong style news? All right. On to keeping it strong style. So, if you missed my New Japan review, totally check it out. I'm going to give a spoiler right now. So there was the Finn Juice versus Jonah and Bad Dude Tito match. And out of nowhere came Shane Haste to totally mess up the whole match. And yeah, he is back at New Japan. And he's going to be assisting his running buddy Jonah to victory. So he's also been known to work for Noah. And he was a part of the faction called the Mighty Don't Kneel. And his old partner was Mickey Nichols. And I was like, dude, this is like the smallest looking guy on the team, because like Jonah and Bad Dude Tito are like at least 300 pounds a piece. Jonah's 330.
Shane Thorne.
He's going by Shane Haste. He used to be called Shane Thorne, for those of you who remember him under Thorne. He competed over at Ring of Honor, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and he was given the name Shane Thorne when he was in WWE back in 2016. And in early 2020, if you recall, Retribution, that fabulous faction, they renamed him Slapjack. Yeah, he was wearing the hockey mask. And so, yeah, we'll be seeing more of him on New Japan, which is great because he'll be in Florida. So I'll be checking that out. And there are some changes, some updates for that New Japan show down in Tampa. Carl Fredericks is going to take on Impact's Josh Alexander. He's like one of the greatest technical wrestlers in the world. And yeah, he's going to face Carl Fredericks for his very first strong appearance in 2022. Joseph, the New Japan Cup has been great as usual. Dude, I haven't even been following it as much as I should. And Shane Haste and the Mighty Don't Kneel. Okay, another change to the New Japan show. We're going to see 2 debutantes. It sounds like those girls who come out with their dresses, but no. These girls are like 300 pounds. Ireland's Big Damo is going to take on John Schuyler one-on-one. We can't even say debutantes, freaking dresses. This is a heavyweight battle. And both prospects have considerable experience, and they want to be able to stick around and strong, so they need to make a good show out of this. And we have another debutante. Why did they use that word? Girly girls. Uptown Andy Brown is going to face off of like the 7-foot-tall Hikuleo. But Brown ain't nobody. He's a 10-year veteran of the indie scene. But like Hikuleo is one of the toughest guys, so he's going to have his work cut out for him. Joseph, I feel for Schuyler. He gets wrecked here. Also in Florida, the LA Dojo. They're like tag team partners, Kevin Knight and the DKC. They're going to fight against each other. So this is a new one. I mean, these two are, they're normally teammates, but like, Knight won his match against Hikuleo. Oh, Hikuleo is Islander royalty. That's a nice compliment. I like that one. And so the Take It to the Ring crew, we're going to be at that event in St. Pete. So if you guys are there, please let us know. We'd love to chat and catch up with you in person. All right. Any last minute questions, comments, stories I missed? Tomcats, I'm waiting for you. I haven't seen any pussycat girls out there. All right. Well, it was another wonderful day in the Wrestleverse. Joseph thinks Knight is promising. He's really good. You got to watch that New Japan Strong, or at least watch my review of it. I've definitely seen him in action a few times. All right. Thank you guys for joining me for some kick-ass and coffee. Please take a moment, if you like what you see, a like, a share, a subscribe, and for more videos, click that link below. Until next time, guys, I'm Lady J. Keep it lucha. Bye.